Time is 7:13 now. Today marks 2 weeks, if you can believe it, since 8 tornadoes tore through St. Tammany Parish. The bulk of the damage, of course, reported across the city of Slidell. 700 homes and 53 businesses, we've learned, were destroyed, and families are still in that rebuild process, moving from the ground up. It's taking a while, of course. Unfortunately, we learned Tuesday that St. Tammany Parish just missed the threshold to qualify for federal disaster assistance. So we've got Slidell Mayor Greg Cromer, who's joining us to talk about the help that is available and also what is needed. And the first thing that sort of stood out to me, first off, thanks for coming in. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot going on.
Thank you for keeping us front and center.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so important. We have not forgotten all of our families there in Slidell, St. Tammany Parish, who are dealing with this. Before we get into some of these specifics, can you just tell us, because I know you're on the ground all the time and you're seeing what's going on, what does it look like there right now?
Well, it's night and day from 2 weeks ago. We have made a lot of progress with cleanup, debris removal. Our citizens have been through these things before with these storms, and they know what to do. We've had a lot of faith-based organizations come in with volunteers, and we've got a number hotline for crisis cleanup, 985-205-8713. Call that number and get on the list to get debris removed, and we'll have volunteers that will come in and help you get that stuff curbside in the separate piles that we need to be able to get it moved into the proper landfill so that we don't create environmental issues further downstream. But we've been doing very well. 21,000 cubic yards of debris, green debris, have been removed from the city alone. In the parish, they're doing their own debris removal. I don't know what their numbers are. We estimate that there's probably another 1.5 times that much debris that we have to pick up. So we expect to probably another 10 to 15 days of debris removal, and that's mostly the green stuff, the C and D stuff, demolition and things of that nature. It will follow after that.
And so, speaking of that debris, there was a deadline of Friday for the state to help with that cleanup, and you're asking them to push it back because you said 10 to 15 days is what's still needed. You estimate?
That's what we're projecting right now, and I'm confident that we're going to get some additional assistance. The governor was very gracious when he came in on that Monday after the storm and told us just go make your community whole, get your people back in their properties and their homes and get yourself cleaned up, and we'll worry about the paperwork later. So I feel real good about where we are and the assistance we're going to get with the state. It's a gap between what local government can do to assist people and what the feds will come in and do, and the governor's real focused on filling that gap right now for us in the city, and we're very fortunate for that.
Well, good to hear that it seems like it is more in a positive place and that, progress is being made. I'm sure that is comfort to a lot of families there. What did it feel like when you all learned that you didn't meet the threshold to get that federal assistance?
Well, it wasn't unexpected. We had pretty much prepared ourselves. We've been through the hurricanes, and it's easy to hit those numbers with hurricanes, but the way the guidelines are laid out for getting this assistance, if you've been damaged before in a storm and you have a claim with them, and you're damaged again, they don't pay it a second time. In other words, it may be a different event, but you don't get covered a second time. So those numbers come out of your damage assessments, and it starts to dwindle down. If you've got insurance, those numbers of damage don't go into your assessment. So it brings the number down to reach that threshold, and we were aware of that. I'm not going to say we would fudge anything, but we were looking real hard to get everything we could to reach those numbers, but it's not going to happen. Didn't happen. And the governor, we got state emergency response fund money that used to keep about $5 million in that fund. I don't know what's in there now, but our legislators have said if we need to, we'll do a reallocation and put more money in that fund if we need to. But we're getting relief from the state, from the faith-based organizations, the social organizations that Red Cross, United Way, all of those places have stepped up. We're expecting the Red Cross and United Way to help with housing. There's 28-30 people that we know that still need housing that we're trying to find apartments and things for.
How many people have been placed? Do you know?
I'm not sure. That there was 142 that registered with the Red Cross last weekend on Saturday and Sunday in the gym over there. Red Cross goes through and assesses things and determines if they're homeless or in need because of the storm, or if it's just another situation. And they're only stepping up for the people that have storm damage right now. So they're going through that, and I'm not sure exactly how many people they've been able to help at this point.
Okay. So still those who need to be placed, well, we appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And of course, we also have that QR code right there that you can see, where we are also partnering with United Way of Southeast Louisiana. As you heard the mayor say, they are also helping out. So all of those funds go to all those families affected who we still need to support and help. All right, if you'd like to donate, just scan that QR code. Thanks for being here with us. We appreciate the work you're doing.
Thank you very much for having me.